Hello, welcome to experiment 4. Today we're going to do an experiment using column chromatography. We'll be taking 3 compounds and we'll be separating the 3 compounds based on their polarity. Once we have separated the 3 compounds, we'll test how well we separated the 3 compounds by loading them up onto a TLC, thin layer chromatography plate. This second part of the experiment will show us the results we got from the first part of the experiments. Alright, goggles are on, gloves, coat, ready to go. Let's get started. This is a column. It's a piece of glassware that has a stopcock at the bottom. Very similar to a separatory funnel, but this is open. The first thing you're going to want to do is take it apart, make sure the little hole in the stopcock is clean. Then you want to put it back together, add a little acetone, shake it around, make sure there's no leaks. If there's no leaks, pour the acetone away in a proper container, let it dry, reassemble it, and then the column is good to go. We'll be adding 5 grams of the alumina to the column, about 20 milligrams of glass wool, and I kind of made a little ball of it, and I put it on top here. Then I take a glass stirring rod and try to pack it down as good as you can towards the bottom. Then I'll take a funnel, put the funnel on top here, hold it, get the 5 grams of alumina out, pour it in. Okay. Then you want to tap it. You want to tap it so you get a good flat top surface here. Once you get the good flat top surface there, you are ready to wet the column. Okay? Wetting the column is this: pouring the first solvent into the column, let it drain down until the bottom of the meniscus gets to the top of the alumina, and you stop it. So it's got to be in the open position. The first beaker is going to be labeled before the yellow band, because you're going to collect everything in this beaker before the yellow band. Okay, we're ready to go now. Now, column's ready to go. It's in the open position. I have eluent 1, which is the hexanes, 5 milliliters. I'm slowly going to add it, pour it on the side. Want the top to be even, and tap it some more. But I'm slowly added it. Now it's been added. It's going to drain down. And once the top of the meniscus gets to the top of the, the bottom of the meniscus gets to the top of the surface, I will turn it off. Or stop the stopcock. Turn the stopcock off. Got to be careful when you add it. You don't want to break that top surface even plane. I could have done a little bit of job of adding it. Okay, once it gets to the top of the meniscus though, the top of the surface, the bottom of the meniscus meet, I turn it. Now I have my 5 drops of the sample, or the 2.5 milliliters. I'm going to take it all up, this long nose pipette. Got to get it all. I'm going to bring it in, and then slowly add it to the column. Then I will open the column again, open the stopcock again, and once again let it drain down until the bottom of the meniscus is at the top of the alumina. Okay, don't want to let it get dry. Then I'm going to get 5 more milliliters of eluent 1, pouring it down the side. Going to open the stopcock. Once again, let it drain down until the bottom of the meniscus is at the top of the aluminum layer. Okay? And this is how we add it. Then I will add 5 mils of eluent 2. Then I'll add 5 milliliters of eluent 3. How we collect is totally different. I'm going to collect everything before the yellow. I'm going to collect the yellow. And I'm going to collect everything after the yellow. So when it comes to collection, you have 1, 2, 3 beakers. Each of them have a bowling stone. Each of them are pre-weighed. Okay, now we wait until this drains down until we can add eluent 2. Now, I'm ready to add eluent 2. 5 milliliters again, once again. Pour it down the side. Open it up, let it drain. I can see that the yellow band is about right at the end, so I'm going to stop it. And every time you switch collecting beakers, there's a process you have to go through. You stop it, you lift it up a little, then you're going to turn it a little, and you're going to take some acetone. You're going to squirt it inside, and then you're going to rinse out the outside. And the reason you do this is because these are highly volatile liquids, and the sample will precipitate out on the glassware at the end. So every time you do that, you have to go through that little procedure. Now we can switch flasks. This flask, the solvent will be boiled off in the hood. Remember, 10 degrees above its boiling temperature until you get only solid left. You'll weigh it, subtract the 2 weights, and then you'll get your weight of the first compound. Now I'm going to collect the yellow, so I have a beaker named yellow band only. I'll bring it down here. And I'm going to open it up into all the yellow comes out. But now I notice, I got to add more eluent, so I turn it off. Carefully pour it down the sides. And turn it back on. And continue to collect until I collect all the yellow. When I can no longer see any yellow, I will stop it and replace the flask with replace the third beaker with the third beaker. Replace the yellow band beaker with after the yellow band beaker. Pretty much all the yellow is gone, so I'm going to stop it and I'm going to switch beakers. Once again, the same process. Lift it up a little. You're going to want to turn it a little. I'm sorry. Squirt into the column with the acetone. Then squirt around the sides. Then we're going to put the third after the yellow band column in. And we're going to open it up and just let it drain. Open it up until it all drains out. And then we'll boil off the solvent. Do the same thing, find out how much compound is in each beaker. So, once I find out how much compound is in each beaker after I boil them off, I'll figure out the percent recovery. And then I'm going to add a little bit of acetone to each of them, just to get them to solution. And then we're going to test them on a TLC plate, thin layer chromatography plate. Okay, so we'll watch this go down, and then we'll get ready for the next part of the experiment. Is done draining off, so we'll stop it. Once again, we'll rinse it. We want to get all we can. So up beneath, squirt some inside. Squirt some on the outside. Okay, all three of these will be boiled off. I'll get the weight of each compound. I'll get the percent recovery. Then I'm going to TLC plate each of these. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to do the TLC plates. I made one TLC plate. I drew 1 centimeter above the bottom in pencil only, and 4 dots equally apart. And did the second one, once again, 1 centimeter above the bottom, and 3 dots equally apart. This will be my separation one. This would be my standard known one. To do the standard known one, you take a capillary tube and you get a capillary tube for each dot. You just open up the test tube, get a little bit in, and then you dot it on the first spot. Got to get 1 dot. Okay. Then this capillary tube is thrown away in the red bin. And you do the same for the second one. Get a new capillary tube, open it up, get a little bit in the tip, place one dot. All you need is one dot, then you can dispose of the capillary tube, close up the second one. Same thing for the third one. Open it up, get a new capillary tube, and give it one dot. And the fourth one we do the same thing. This is for our standard known. There we go. Okay. For what we separated, we have the after the yellow band, we have the yellow band, and we have before the yellow band. Each of them, I just put a drop or two, don't have to put much, of acetone. And I'm going to repeat the same process on the second TLC plate. Before the yellow band, they all get their own test tubes. Get a little bit of a dot. And just dot one dot. Okay. The yellow band, same thing. Just get one dot. And after the yellow band, do the same thing. Just get one dot. Remember, each time using a new capillary tube. Okay. We're going to take these two TLCs, put them back to back or plastic to plastic. We'll put them in the developing jar. We'll wait like 20-30 minutes until the line goes up to near the top. Pull them out of the developing jar, draw the line, look under the UV light with them. Alright, so what I did was I took the jar, I pumped 10 milliliters of methylene chloride into the jar. I took the two TLC plates back to back or plastic to plastic, slid them in there, did not move the jar, don't move the jar, put the lid on, and I let it stay, and you watched it moved up, and it looks pretty close to being about a centimeter from the top. So all you're going to do is unscrew the jar, take the two plates out, mark the lines immediately. Once again, mark the lines immediately. I'm going to let these dry for a second, probably 2 minutes in the hood. Just let the hood take away the methylene chloride vapors. When they're completely dry, I'm going to look at them under the UV light, circle all the dots. Then I'll do the RF values.